super sweet custom Ryan related intro.
Live from BerettaFest in Ryan's backyard. I guess it's a thing. You're listening to Downshift with your hosts, Ryan and Jason. This is the Colorado Cars and Coffee podcast by car enthusiasts for car enthusiasts. Clutch in, gear down, and let's start the show.
Super sweet 80s retro in your ear hole at a high volume. Hey, there we go.
BerettaFest in Ryan's backyard. It's all day, every day, right, Ryan?
It is. There's
Can't escape it.
6 or 7 of them back there right now.
That's it.
Varying condition, as always.
That's
No, I loved how surprised Bill sounded. I guess that's the thing. I think that was a legit. He didn't even say that to be funny. That was a legitimate statement. He's like, I guess that's the thing. No, look, we're gonna talk about it. I got BerettaFest right here.
Staff.
On the show. That's right.
Staff shirt, baby. That's it. Yeah. So I saw Steve and Terry this morning. I swung by the Vehicle Vault, Cars and Coffee in Parker with my family, and I saw Steve and Terry there. And Terry was like, "What? Don't talk about BerettaFest. Nobody cares about Chevy Berettas." I was like, "Ryan cares, and he's half of this show." So there you go, Terry. There you go.
I was going to say it to my face, Terry, but I know he would without hesitation. So
he would say that and more. He would say a lot of words that we probably can't say on this show.
Yeah, that's all right.
Family friendly.
There's enough of us that care, Terry, that you don't have to, so don't worry about it.
Not all of us drive BMW 330 ZHPs or whatever. Anyway. We're here.
Let's see. What do we have? What's something? Yeah, let's do that.
Fashionably tardy. We're slightly tardy to the party today because
we were both preparing fancy slideshows of our most recent adventures. My slideshow consists of 5 pictures, and oddly, it took far longer than I thought it would to put it together.
and my slideshow consists of a lot of pictures that are in a very random order because I apparently couldn't be bothered to actually prepare, something of quality for this show. But no, in all seriousness, it's good to be back. And if you guys missed last episode, go back and watch that. It was Ryan with some of the lady car enthusiasts, as well as your lady who is a car enthusiast, talking about drifting and autocrossing and all kinds of good fun car stuff about women in Colorado. So definitely check that out. As always, mostly on YouTube, but we're also on Twitch, and we will be on Facebook when Steve fixes that.
Yeah. For some reason, we're not broadcasting to Facebook right now because our StreamYard account has lost connection to the group. So hopefully you're watching on YouTube. We'll get it fixed. If Facebook is your preferred platform to view on, then you can join us next episode. But also don't forget, we're on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, Threads. We have a bi-weekly newsletter and a quarterly digital magazine.
And a summer events guide.
That I think Steve just promoted earlier today.
Nice. Well,
thank you. Still valid. That thing goes out through October?
I believe so. Yeah. Because there were there was at least one October event. There was the BMW Rocky Mountain chapter BMW Car Club. They do an October fest every year. So I believe that was in there. And we have new stickers.
Oh yeah, we got stuff.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but we got new Shift Colorado stickers in your favorite race car liveries, and we have a Downshift sticker. Have you seen this yet, Ryan?
I did. I believe Steve said something about it in Discord.
I have to actually give you some because I have a whole. Steve just gave me a box of them.
Oh yeah, he orders them in mass and says, "Here you go."
We should actually meet up sometime in person so I can give you a bunch of these because they're actually pretty sweet.
Nothing like a brewery visit.
That's it. Nothing like a cold beer and car chats
and stickers.
That's a good combination of things.
All right. Well,
let's
roll into it because I think we actually have a packed episode this time. I will be discussing my most recent trip to BerettaFest. Jason will be talking about his trip to the. Teach me once again how to say that.
Greenwich.
The Greenwich.
Yeah.
It involves a lot of lip work. Greenwich.
Yeah.
He went to the Greenwich Concours event.
I did.
And we have Jake waiting to talk to us about the most recent issue of Shift Colorado magazine, issue number 12. Has been out for a little while, but he's going to give us a bit of the behind the scenes.
Yeah, because I feel like once the magazine drops, there's a lot of initial hype and rush. And then sometimes things, a month or two in, things kind of peter out. So it's good to revisit the content of issue 12 because there's a lot of good stuff in there. And maybe if we ask Jake nicely and get him drunk enough, he'll give us some sneak peeks and previews of issue 13 content. So
dun dun dun,
all that to look forward to. Well, let's get started. Ryan, let's talk about actual BerettaFest because we joke about it being at your house, in your yard, in your driveway every day, all day, but there literally is an event of annual Beretta, a gathering of Beretta owners that happens every year, right?
That is correct. And I'm sorry, as I'm looking over here trying to set up the visuals for this. Why can't that go there? There we go. This gets a little bigger. BerettaFest has been around for some time, I believe, and I'm probably going to misspeak. I think this year was the 25th anniversary.
Wow. A storied event with decades of history and heritage.
It has been around for some time. It's been around far longer than I have been involved with the community. It literally was. Let's see it. I'm going to get my photo up first here real quick. Window, this one.
Oh, that's a good pick.
And yeah, it literally started out as, I think, 3 cars, 3 people met once. 97, something like that. So maybe this isn't the 25th. It's up there. It's in the 20s. I always help, and I help hold this or put this event together, and then afterwards promptly forget all the details because I've wiped myself out hosting the event.
Understandable.
It started as literally 3 dudes in a parking lot. Oddly enough, it's grown. Our community has grown. We started out as a Yahoo email list. That graduated to Beretta.net, our forums. Now, the forums are still there and are still a treasure trove of information, obviously, but our Facebook group really is where the meat of interaction goes down these days. Where I had more to say. Oh, it's been in Colorado twice. 2004 is when you can see, this is me here, one in from the left. I got lucky and got shuffled to the front of that photo. I bought that car in 2004, got online and Googled Chevrolet Beretta to figure out what was going on with it. Found out the event was going to be up near like 120th and I-25 essentially. Oh, wow. And it was coming up quick, like 3 weeks or a month. And I'm like, whatever. It was still just a car to me. Now I kick myself because I could have met some very old school members of the community and got even deeper into things at a much earlier time. And then 2013, I actually proposed the event to be here in Colorado again. And we were housed essentially near I-25 and C-470, but took people to Pikes Peak, Bojo's Pizza, a karting event. We went to Chatfield Reservoir for our annual picnic and car show. Nice. But to stick to this, obviously we were in Watkins Glen, New York this year.
Yeah.
There it goes.
So you road tripped from here. Did you like cannonball it?
Yeah. And that's going to be the meat of my story this time here. I believe I told you, you may have seen the video, but I'm going to share it here for all to see. We went to Watkins Glen, New York, about 27 hours of driving over 2 days. And let's see if this goes. This happened about an hour and a half away from our halfway hotel. This trip was 1,650 miles, give or take, one way. The longest drive I've ever made in my life, I believe. And the longest drive I've ever taken in this car. And then let's see if this works. Yeah, that might be a little hard to see, but that's me up front. I don't think I can, and I can't zoom this, so my apologies. But about an hour and a half, about 10 o'clock at night from our hotel, I had my driver's rear passenger explode. My tire, there it goes. Kind of hard to see, but then you can see it exiting the chat.
Yeah, that is a tire gone bye-bye.
And the tire went bye-bye.
Woo! Okay.
It's gone. Well,
that's scary.
I have bits and pieces of it still there.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were doing about 80. We're cruising, you know.
Yeah. And those are nice wheels too. Are those rotiform?
They're rotiforms.
Yeah.
They were nice tires too. I still enjoy the other three I have. Now I have a mismatched tire because that's how they were able to get me on the road. But the assumption is, you know, I don't know how my friend driving behind me, that came from her dash cam, wouldn't have seen me, you know, driving on a flat, or how other people on the highway wouldn't be like, hey, dude, you know, oh man.
Right, flashlights or honk.
And we went and looked for the piece of tire that came off, but we couldn't find it because it was deep shrubs for like a 15 feet piece of median on the side of the road.
Yeah.
The assumption is that I took something on in the tire, rapid air loss led to the tire riding, you know, each side of the rim on the tire, and then it just gave up.
Yeah.
Thankfully, as you can see, there's enough rubber on each side of the rim. Didn't hurt the wheel, didn't scratch the wheel.
That's lucky.
I got a couple, you can kind of see it and they're a little bit, you can kind of see some scratching on the edge here. Scratches. And those caps, they're caps. If you don't know, they screw onto the center hub ring and blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Couple scratches. Didn't crack. Nothing catastrophic. As you saw, my car went oomph and I went, whoa. And I got off to the side of the road. I mean, that incident literally could have killed someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
or
highly fortunate.
Yeah. Or damaged your car a lot more. Like, yeah, those are nice wheels. And yeah.
The long and short of it is, between the two cars, we only had one spare. We put it on. It's half flat. So we drive at like 30 miles an hour for 19 miles down the shoulder of the road. And it's pitch black by now. Rolling over, you can hear pieces of metal and debris, ting, ting, ting. And I'm like, if I bust another tire driving down the side of the road here, all 19 miles to a Love's, where they won't help you with your tires unless you're a rig driver.
Yeah.
Again, long story short, we tried to plug. Well, when we pulled in, I'm like, we did it. I'm going to fill the tire and we're going to get to the hotel and then we'll deal with it. No, because we pull in and I'm like, yeah, we did it. And my friend's like, I think there's a problem. And one of her tires is just.
Oh, geez.
So she got a 5-inch bolt stuck in her tire. Again, we only had the one spare. So the long and short of it is we spent far too long trying to be adults and patch the tire with a plug kit that didn't take, be it newbie syndrome, the humidity. Maybe we should have used 2 plugs instead of 1. Who knows? It didn't work. AAA towed us one car. We put all the bad tires on one car, towed it to the hotel, get there at 3:30 in the morning, sleep for 2.5 hours, get up, first in line at discount. They get us in and out in 35 minutes. She got her exact tire. I got a suitable replacement, not my exact tire. So now I'm mismatched, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Back on the road, drove another like 17 hours, hit the final hotel at like 1:30 in the morning.
Wow. So eventful. We can call that an eventful journey. What state were you in when this tire?
Right outside of St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
That's like our halfway point typically because it's a good stop.
Right.
So, I mean, and again, it all couldn't have gone better than it did, other than it not happening. What do we got? And so we get there. That's me in front. You don't know the car.
Yeah.
It's now with a couple more pedals, and I actually put my door panels in that I had refinished like 2 years ago.
Nice.
This is a quick group shot at a group dinner that we had on the shore of some lake. We might not be the Corvette Club. We don't have membership dues or anything like that. Our Facebook group is 4,000 strong. Although half that's like the guy that his sister had one, or he knew a guy in high school that had one, or somebody had one, now they don't anymore. But we've got a good couple hundred devout owners and enthusiasts. We put this event on every year. Every year the community submits proposals on where they want it to be. We vote, we go there. This year was Watkins Glen, New York. We do
a historic racetrack as well.
Watkins Glen International. We did drive the Glen, and I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
I almost hit 80 in the straight, and cutting through the S's was just amazing. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. I would almost go back just to do that again. Kind of like driving the tail of the dragon. I would go back just to drive that road again.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They even did some Formula One races there back in the day, but yeah, lots of IMSA and NASCAR, and yeah, obviously.
Yeah. The hotel we checked into as a group for everybody, they were elated to have us because they only had like 64 rooms and we took up like 40 of them. And the lady's like, "Oh, you just missed it. All the BMW IMSA guys were just here."
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, okay, cool. So she's like, "Yeah, we'll welcome another group." Right, yeah, we go somewhere. We do fun things. A group dinner, picnic, and car show. I won Kids' Choice Award again this year. They love the floral. They love it. Picnic and a car show trophies. We have awards. I have all of them are kind of, we got the little guys. Like we've got these little guys that are fun. Nice. That's from Colorado. Little fun awards all the way up to plaques, like yay big for best interior, best exterior, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
It's a real deal. Like there are enough of us crazy bastards out there that this is a thing. And then actually that's our group photo.
Oh, beautiful.
I believe it's 36 cars. We started with 39, and then obviously every year somebody busts.
Yeah.
But that was at a winery that stayed open an extra hour just to host us, and we all had a glass of wine after about 45 minutes in the heat, the sweltering heat, to get this organized. And I do that every year with a buddy. So
yeah, you were near Seneca Lake. I think that's the big lake that's near Watkins Glen.
It might be.
Yeah, that's the Finger Lake region. I mean, I grew up probably about 3.5 hours just due east of where Watkins Glen is. Like if you just go straight east, that's the part of New York that I grew up. So yeah, that would be the Finger Lakes because they kind of look like fingers on a map. So
yeah, the place was called Snug Harbor. Delicious food and beautiful. Man, it was nice to hang out next to the lake because it's like 5 to 10 degrees cooler right there.
Yeah,
and sweltering heat again. I wore shorts for the first time, and I don't even know how long. I wear pants year round. I had people at the event be like, "Dude, are you wearing shorts?" My girlfriend of over 5 years saw some pictures. She wasn't there, sadly. Are those your legs? I have not seen you wear shorts in the entire 5 years that I've known you. Or like 6 years. Yeah, so I did it to help with the heat because that entire trip was done in that car with 0 AC.
Oh, okay. Well, there's another, you get another badge of honor for running with no AC.
Oh yeah, terrible. I think next year I'm going to take another car and it's going to have AC.
That's probably wise. Yeah, that's probably wise.
Well,
it's been hot.
Seen this one enough. It's 2 years in a row, so time to switch to one of the other ones. All right, and I've yapped far long enough. BerettaFest is a thing. Don't hate. Sorry, Terry.
No, it's great. It's like, the Porsche community, they have like Luftgekult and Air Water and these, gatherings of Porsche owners and enthusiasts. So why not Chevy Berettas? It's something for everybody. But
you went somewhere that had a whole bunch of something for a lot of people that are into the classics, I believe. Yeah,
well, there was a little bit of everything. So let me get my screen share if it's gonna work. So share that shizzle. Can you see my screen okay?
Yeah, there you go. That works.
All right, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So yeah, Greenwich Concours is an event that I've gone to probably, this is my 9th or 10th year. I should actually go back and check. But yeah, I used to go a lot with my dad and a bunch of my friends. And so this year it was just my dad and I. It's a good excuse. My dad lives about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours just north of Greenwich. So it was a good excuse to go home and visit some family back in New York, and do a little road trip in the 911 that my dad and I co-own. So that was fun. So yeah, Greenwich, for those who don't know, is like a super wealthy town, tons of Wall Street people, hedge fund people. So it's just like stupid money, and there obviously are a lot of big time car collectors and enthusiasts there. But yeah, this event used to be like a really grassroots local thing. A group of local car enthusiasts just started it and grew it. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, the family that kind of owned the event and put it on, organized it every year, they sold it to Haggerty. So it is now in the Haggerty portfolio of events. And boy, have some things changed. Things have gotten a lot more corporate. Tickets have gone up in price. There was like an airport style security screening with metal detectors and people checking your tickets. And it used to be like you rolled up and there was a little ticket booth, and it was like, okay, yeah, you pay, $30 or $35, and they stamp your hand and you're like good to go. But this is much more corporate now. There's a ton of sponsor tents, vendor tents, all kinds of stuff like that. One cool thing that my dad and I did, we did drive some Lotus Emiras. So they had some ride and drive events going on at the entrance. So I did get to drive the 4-cylinder. These were all the 4-cylinder AMG motor, dual clutch, flappy paddle Emiras. And it honestly, it was a fun car. I would have loved to have driven the stick V6 one, the Toyota V6 one with the manual. I felt like there was a bit of turbo lag, and I just didn't love the engine and the transmission necessarily as much as like a Porsche PDK in a 4-cylinder Boxster, which would be the comparable, Cayman Boxster 4-cylinder. Price wise and size is going to compare to this. I didn't love it as much as that, but the chassis was great, the suspension was great, the brakes were great. It just handled really well, just like knife through corners really nicely.
When they're sharp, those look like an Esprit and a Corvette had a child.
Yeah, no, it's a nice cabin too.
Or an Elise, my bad, Lotus Elise.
Yeah, an Elise and a Corvette.
I've driven an Elise. That's as far as I get with Lotus.
Yeah. And it's, the interior was really nice quality. Obviously, these were press cars, right? They're event cars. So I'm sure they get beat up a bit, but, the interior was beautiful leather and Alcantara and just, really nice materials. It was, comfy seats, good driving position. I just didn't love the AMG 4-cylinder, but everything else about it was quite nice. And in a couple years, when they're like 50K depreciated, that might be a very interesting proposition. But anyway, so this is kind of the entrance to the Concours. And so it's right on the water. Like it's right in like a bay. It's the Long Island Sound. So it's like an inlet of the Atlantic Ocean pretty much. So there's just like, this is a park that's right on the water. And so you roll up and you walk through, and they have all these things that, all the rich people in Greenwich and the Hamptons and everything and Nantucket like to roll around in those little jollies. But then, it's a 2-day event. So they do have different cars there each day for the most part. And then the second day, they kind of do all the awards. So there was this crazy cool Mura Ferrari Dino, which surprisingly there are many of in Colorado. Love some good license plates like on this Maserati Merak. There were plenty of Countachs, representing more of the modern classics. And then there's this was a special Jag XK 120 that had this speed bubble, and it had like the passenger's compartment was closed in with a metal plate.
Wow.
So this was like a high speed run car that they had developed specifically for like max speed runs.
And it's always funny to me whenever you see cars with the taped up headlights like that. Is an expensive vehicle. That is a fancy friggin' car, and that is just straight electrical tape that they stick on the headlights.
And a lot of interesting old Porsche models, obviously some rare 356s. This was cool. This blew my mind. I'd actually never seen this before. It was a BMW 503 1957, one of only 412 made, with a V8. And I thought, oh wow, because I know
what year?
57.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, BMW had some, because the 507 also had a V8, but I didn't know that they put V8s in other cars until more recently. And this was super rare and just really cool looking, not particularly BMW-ish. And then there was a yellow Batmobile CSL that was pretty special. I'm gonna go quick because I know we're gonna get to Jake in a couple minutes, but yeah, 356s. There's my dad and I. It was a little cold and a little drizzly, but we made the best of it, repping our friends at First Dibs, Porsche Colorado Springs. This was really cool. This was an MG that this guy had done like a crazy, really high quality, expensive resto mod to, and dropped a big Ford engine in. But just, tons of really cool custom detailing and just a beautiful, beautiful build. Something that you would not you wouldn't think that you would put this much money into an MG, but this guy did. And obviously big disc brakes and bigger wheels, sticky tires, big fat engine under the hood. Really, really beautiful. Loved all the details on that. Interior was just totally gorgeous, leather and wood. And the guy had done it all himself, and it was super cool graphics on there.
Yeah, that's cool. MGs are like the Mustang of British cars.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Or
the Miata.
There's always one somewhere, and it's either completely stock or like weirdly customized.
Yeah. And I saw they had a Gunther Works car there, those crazy Porsches. They had this SCC Tuatara with this ridiculous carbon fiber engine bay and the suspension and the exhaust stuff. And then this was cool. This is a Project 1511. This is a company in England, and they're doing Singer style, high dollar resto mods of Porsche 914s. But this is not a 914. This is a Boxster underneath. And they put a super lightweight, I'm pretty sure it's carbon fiber because everything else is. They put this carbon fiber 914 style body over it, but it has the engine and the transmission from a modern Cayman or Boxster Cayman, but just really beautiful detail. I mean, you can see the houndstooth, the leather, the exposed.
Any car that's in, I absolutely love it.
Yeah, the exposed gear linkage on the shifter. The dashboard. I actually missed the picture of it when I was taking pictures, but the pedal box, the 3 pedals, it says 914 on the pedal. So the clutch is the 9, the brake is the 1, and the accelerator is the 4. So I was like, oh, of course you're gonna have details like that when you're paying, I don't even know, 100, probably 300,000-400,000 for something like this. And then they had this Chimera, which is the Lancia was it 037 resto mod, super high end that they're building in Italy. and just like, look at this ridiculous, the whole rear clamshell of the car lifts up and you just see the rear axle and the engine and the suspension and the exhaust. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, so that's a little, I love seeing the suspension components, just the shocks and springs exposed like that. K-Mira, man. And then the wheels, obviously carbon, super lightweight, just ridiculous. And there was a DeLorean. Hey, that's for you, Brendan.
People still like them.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, there was a bunch. Packard was the featured brand. So they had this guy from New Jersey who has like 100 Packards. He was the Grand Marshal, and this one had some kind of a gator skin interior. And he had this crazy array of super valuable, super rare Packard variants that he brought out. So it's a little bit of everything. You get the modern stuff, you get the classic stuff, and just a lot of cool details for car geeks to geek out on. But as you can see, the weather, it was a little chilly, it was a little misty, I would say, but we definitely made the best of it and had fun nonetheless. And
that's far better than the car show weather I was in for my event, I'll tell you what.
Yeah. And then I'll just get one more pic of my dad and I. And yeah, so that was all good, fun stuff. Okay, I'm going to stop the share. Wait, how do I do that?
Go down well, you can't do that. You can remove it like that.
Oh, there we go.
And then I think only you can delete it from the little assets down there if you want to just get rid of it.
Yeah. All right. Well, clearly this is what happens when I take a month off. I forget how to do everything. So sorry.
Well, and again, episode 7, and we still stumble over some of these insanely basic items. Oh, well, you're still watching.
That's it. So yeah, that's a little taste of some of the trips that automotive trips that Ryan and I recently embarked upon. Fortunately, my trip did not involve a tire blowout. So that was fortunate. But we do have Jake, who was the editor-in-chief of the most recent issue of Shift magazine, issue 12, that had a lot of cool stuff in it. So we're going to bring Jake in to talk a little bit about some of his favorite content and his favorite articles in issue 12. And then hopefully we're going to get some juicy tidbits or sneak peeks from issue 13 that are currently in the works, because the Shift guys are always doing stuff every weekend, even some weekdays. They're out there filming, photographing, writing, talking to people, creating content. So there's tons of juicy stuff in the works. So let's go ahead and bring in Jake.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Jake. How's it going?
Good. Slight correction. I was not the editor-in-chief for issue 12, but I am equally as qualified to talk about it. Brendan was the editor-in-chief.
Okay.
There was a typo in our masthead on the last issue. We recycled one from a previous issue, and some of the names were changed. So that's a common mistake on our behalf because we didn't fix it.
Oops, copy pasta.
Well, but you will be the editor-in-chief for issue 13, right?
That is correct.
Got one.
So I'm also qualified to talk about what we might be doing, but I want to leave some of that stuff a surprise. We'll go into some of the obvious stuff that we do every year. So
yeah, okay. So let me
just say, first of all, it's nice to have you in greater than 480p.
Yes, my new internet connection definitely helps the situation out here. Although I think I like seeing my face better at 480p. I've got a face for radio.
If you guys didn't catch it when we had Jake on last time, he was it was like watching the Minecraft movie. It was
I think every sentence was delayed by a second or two.
Well, Jake, I don't know if you saw last issue or episode. We had my girlfriend on to talk about ladies in automotive motorsports and whatnot, automotive clubs, etc. She was in Alaska. So unbeknownst to us, when I first, so hey, Jenny, tell us about something. The delay was insane. It was like 10 seconds. It's crazy. So, and I had two other guests, and we'd all just sit there like staring at her. And then finally it would hit her, and she started talking. It's funny, afterwards she told me, I started to realize when you guys stopped talking, it was my turn to say something. So I was just going to start talking until I got the audio for what the question was.
Oh man. Yeah, that's funny. It's internet connections can cause all kinds of problems.
All right. Well, here we have beautiful cover photo for issue 12. We've got a drifting E36 M3, a yellow E36 M3.
That was shot by our very own Nate Hughes as well. Nate is a writer and a photographer at Shift. We call him our Western Slope office because he's based out of Montrose. So yeah, he picks up all the cool stuff that happens on the other side of the state.
Nice. All right, well, let's scroll on down. So here we got all kinds of good stuff. This was kind of a truck heavy issue. You had the Ford Maverick Lobo, you had the Tacoma TRD or Tundra.
Yeah, it was cool. I'm a truck guy, so it was cool to kind of incorporate some of that stuff into Shift, and we even got Brendan behind the wheel of the Maverick, which it was a mini truck, but it was still a truck, and he ended up loving the thing. We had a couple of truck features in there. We also went to Weld County Garage and Truck City Service Center up in Greeley did their first annual truck show, which was kind of cool because you got a good mix of people there. There was some lowrider trucks. People brought like these incredibly detailed semis out with like gold flake in the paint. And then just some classic restoration pickups, which was fun to see. I think those are pickups are the kind of vehicles, like classics at least, are the ones that carry a lot of stories because like every other person we talk to, they're like, oh, my grandpa bought this brand new. He used it on the farm. And then it made it to my dad, and then it made it to me. And it was like all of them had some sort of family history to them, which was kind of cool.
Nice.
It's funny that you mentioned that. I know that this was a piece in this issue. I've tracked that Weld County Garage Meet for months for the newsletter and all the events tracking that we do. And I've always wondered what it was like. And then I got to see.
It was a surprise, honestly. I wasn't sure what to expect coming out from Greeley. But it was awesome. It was a really good mix of vehicles. Like, as you can see in the picture on the left page there was a bunch of lowriders there. That van in the front was actually really cool. It was a bagged van. The thing was sweet.
Well, I think that always seems to me like the most interesting thing about what you guys are all working with Shift. And I've just done a couple things for Shift at this point, but it's like you get to it's like you get a automotive tapas almost. You get to sample all these different cultures and subcultures, and you get to try things that you might have never tried before. And you're like, oh, that's different, but that's cool.
A really good way to put it, honestly. Like it is automotive tapas. Like we get to dip our toes into things that we might not have been interested in before. Like it was fun taking Brendan to the truck show, who's not a truck guy, and having him experience something from my world. It's definitely a cool way to play around with the different subgenres of automotive enthusiasm.
I expect that phrase to be dropped somewhere in issue 13.
Automotive
and in your next garage report, Jason, automotive tapas. Like I'm stealing that. That's good.
Yeah, I'm taking that one too. You might want to trademark that.
It's yours. Take it. And there's some semis that showed up too. That's pretty wild.
We were trying, part of the idea of going to this truck show was to try and meet somebody that wanted to do roller photography with a semi. It didn't quite work out because it turns out semi guys also heavily rely on those for their livelihood. So it's hard to nail down a time when we can, hey, do you want to waste 2.5 to 3 hours doing a photo shoot with us when you could be making money?
Yeah.
We'll make it happen. I'm still hopeful that will come up in a future issue.
Please
sure.
stick to that because that would be awesome.
I've never seen it before, so I want to be the first one to do that.
Yeah, and then we got you. I think you talked about this on first dibs before this issue even came out. I think you did dibs when the issue was still being finalized and hadn't been uploaded yet. But
yes, we
this
weren't
Maverick.
supposed to tell anybody, but we missed our publish date for the first time in 12 issues on issue 12. We came out a week late. I'm sorry. But it worked out because it gave us time to polish it a little bit more than we've had time to do in the past. So the end result is this, which is pretty cool. And you guys got a little sneak preview on dibs too, so that never hurts. For sure.
So this Maverick Lobo was apparently quite the favorite amongst y'all who drove it and got to hang out with it.
This was a fun vehicle because it's rare that we get a press car at Shift that everybody unanimously likes. Like, there's always going to be somebody who's not a fan of it or has something bad to say about it. And I don't think anybody had anything negative to say about the Maverick. It was, especially the Lobo edition that we had. It was really cool. It was fun. It looks good. I mean, those wheels, look at the wheels on that thing. They make that rig.
Yeah.
So,
it's interesting to see Ford, like, they've leaned in pretty heavily to the Raptor off-road thing, but it's interesting to see them now leaning into this Lobo, like, street truck culture. I was
absolutely.
like, oh, Ford, what Ford executive was like cool enough to say, let's build this, right? Like, I would like to actually meet that guy to be like, who actually said, yeah, this is going to be a good idea.
I've been thinking about that. So I think what happened is millennials like us are now making their way into the automotive executive world. And when we were kids in the 90s, street trucks were all the rage.
For
and
sure.
now this is exactly what this is. Somebody wanted to recreate the magic of a 90s mini truck with a street build. And this is what you get, which I think is really cool because I grew up loving those kinds of builds.
I always used to want to take, I would still do it to this day. Maybe I need to check Craigslist. Do an old Ford Ranger Splash into a mini truck.
Yes, 100%. That's a great build idea.
So cool. That body was designed for that.
So you can see on the left page here too, we actually implemented a new rating system that we're going to be doing for all of our press cars moving forward. So you see that gear shift schematic. We're going to be rating every press car that we review on a 6-gear ratio. So obviously 6 gear being the best. Although we went back through all of our press cars of the past. The only car that I think we all agreed was a 6 gear was, drumroll please, the Toyota Prius.
Oh,
yeah. Everybody loved that car.
Yeah, the Prius was a lot of fun. Nobody expected to like it as much as we all did. Even the folks at Toyota were just like, we have a Prius. Do you want that? And we were like, yeah, give it to us.
It's like, oh, we have Supra too, and Tundra and all this other stuff.
It's cool getting to review something that's average, that's doing what it's designed to do, which is just be a car. Like, yeah, of course, these are fun, but, it's just a good car. That's the best thing you can say about it.
So a reverse gear rating would be like Kill It With Fire. It was terrible.
Yeah, we haven't come across anything like that yet. I don't think we've come across anything, even in our discussions of press cars past. I think the lowest we gave anything was a 3rd gear because we're enthusiasts. We like all cars. Sure. There's something good about every car that at least it's got some feature that I enjoy about it, or some driving characteristic at the very least.
I think someone like Brendan would probably rate his DeLorean as an R. That would be a back away from it.
Yeah, get away from this thing. I think that's where you would have to draw the line for the reverse gear. It's like something that we've just had that we had an awful experience with. It would have to be the worst car.
For sure. Yeah, no, this is cool. And like I said, just really, really cool that Ford was actually like, yeah, we're going to build this. And we see enough of a demand. And to your point, younger folks who are getting into these executive positions are probably making stuff that's a little bit cooler than would have happened even 5 years ago, right?
Just the stuff that we thought was cool when we were kids, the stuff that we would flip through a custom car magazine. It's like, oh, now we have the ability to make that and put it into production now, and people like us are going to buy it.
Yeah.
Like the Lobo is a car that I will consider when it makes its way to the secondhand market. That is one of the perfect dailies out there that's available right now, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, small, like the Ranger and the Maverick, like small trucks are great because you get all the practicality of the pickup without having a F-150, which is honestly massive, right? Yeah. Or like you have a Silverado, right?
Yeah, and I live in Denver, and it's a nightmare to park that most of the time.
Yeah.
So this thing is cool because you get the convenience of a little car with the utility of a 4.5-foot bed, which surprised you could fit quite a bit back there too.
Oh, for sure. And for the average person who, you're doing home projects, you're, landscaping, whatever you're doing, you don't need a giant pickup truck. This is mostly what you need for hauling stuff in a truck bed. I call it the homeowner special. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I probably would make a pretty decent, what do you think? Would this make a decent roller truck? 100%. We used it to shoot the rollers of the Tundra, and it was fantastic. That bed is really low to the ground, and you can drop the tailgate, and you can basically drag your knuckles on the ground with a camera, which is what you want for the best roller shots. For me personally, I like to be really low, so I'm looking right up at the front of the car. And the Lobo lends itself to that very well. So it did. We test all of our press cars as a roller car these days. And it was, of all we've had, it was one of my favorites. Roller approved. That's something that we should start using too, actually. We'll put a little stamp on there. Roller approved. Boom. So you have the gear rating. All kinds of ideas today, Jason. Contrary to what Brendan thinks, I do occasionally have good ideas. No, I'm just kidding. I do occasionally have a good idea. So this is cool. You got to go to Breckenridge Distillery. Yes, they are a sponsor of ours. These photos are actually from a trip that we took up last February. But we wanted to include some of their stuff in our magazine because they sponsor us, and they're a really cool company, and they're a lot of fun to work with. And that trip was a fantastic shift road trip. We went up and sampled some whiskey. We had the designated driver, of course, because we drove back to Denver the next day or the same day. We gave Marty too much whiskey, and he fell asleep in the back of a Lexus the whole way home. Well, if you're riding in the back seat of a Lexus, falling asleep is not out of the realm of possibility at all. So yeah, that was just a fun day. This is out of a lot of the things that we've done with Shift. Like, there's ones that stick out in the back of my mind. It's like, hey, that was a really good day, and I'm going to remember that for a while. This was one of those days. Yeah. So what's the story with this Land Rover pickup? So I didn't write this piece, so I can't go into the specifics of it. I believe it belongs to the owner. I know it does run and drive, and they do use it as a promotional vehicle. But that's about as much history as I have on that. I would reserve that question for, I believe Brendan wrote this, or maybe Dustin did, since he's in the picture. Let's see. It says story by Brendan Garst. So all right. There you go. We'll ask Brendan more about that. I mean, if you dive into the article too, I'm sure that it will explain all of that for you. A little hint to all the people that are listening to this. You should read this one if you're curious about it. There you go. And check out Breckenridge Distillery for try some delicious bourbon next time you see them at your liquor store shelf. Yes. All right. So what else? What are some other good things? There's so much good stuff, and this is a long issue. So what else? What was like some of your favorite shoots and stories? Yeah. I would scroll down to find the Yoder Chevrolet Corvette roundup that we did. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we could stop at Emic Track Day too, because that's always a fun one. So Emic Track Day, for those of you who don't know, is Emic dealerships here in Denver rents out the track at High Plains and offers an open lapping day for any auto enthusiast to show up. And so we were invited out to join them. We've covered this one in the past too. And this one, I enjoyed this one personally because I don't own a fast car or anything that's worth driving on the track right now. So I just went out and played Passenger Princess in everybody else's car.
which is so much fun. You know, you get to have a good conversation with somebody while you're whipping around the track. Our friend Kurt from Eat Sleep Drive brought his new GT3 out. That was a lot of fun. That thing rips, and it sounds so good. And then we had a good mix of other cars out there. There was that yellow Civic, was personally one of my favorites. We've actually reached out to the owner of that to try and do a profile on that car itself. It's incredibly clean, it sounds good, and it looks fantastic on the track.
What is that, like a 90, like an early 90, like 91, 92 Civic?
I would say so. I'm not super well versed on my Civic generations. I know that they all have a 2-letter designation, and I don't know what that one is, but I love it. I need to learn more about it, so I want to talk to the guy who owns it so he can kind of school me on Civics. That's the fun part about doing this, is that I get to learn this firsthand from somebody who lives it.
Sure. And a modern Civic SI in the back, or Civic Type R in the background.
Yes.
So you get the double old school and new school performance Civics. Oh man, this Viper looks pretty crazy.
That thing was rowdy out there. You could hear that on every corner of the track. You knew exactly where it was by how loud it was.
I've driven Viper around the oval at PPIR, and it's an experience. Driving one of those in general is just kind of a madhouse.
Yeah.
And that one looks a little fancier than the one I got to drive, so I can only imagine.
But yeah, so that's Emic Track Day in a nutshell. It's a really fun time. Kurt from Eat Sleep Drive actually contributed this article too. So if you guys haven't heard of him, go check out his YouTube channel. Great friend of Shift, and he's just a great guy to hang out with.
For sure. So yeah, let's jump to Yoder.
All right. So the story behind this one, Yoder Chevrolet reached out to us. And between emails, we were just trying to figure out what we could do to work with them and make an article together. And they had mentioned that they had an inventory of C8s, and that at one point, under the previous ownership of the dealer, they were like one of the #1 Corvette dealers in the country, and they were trying to get their way back to that spot.
Wow.
So we wanted to find a way to help them riff off of that, as well as showcase their inventory of C8s. So this is what we came up with. They invited us out to their dealer in Fort Lupton, and they just showed us their showroom, which is really cool. It's an old Chevrolet showroom that hasn't seen much business in a while. They're converting it back to the performance showroom. So all of these indoor ones are inside the building, and it's decorated in the classic like Heartbeat of America era Chevrolet dealer.
That's Beretta era, right, Ryan?
Yeah. That's where my cars come from.
It's really cool when you go in there. It's like literally walking into a time machine, just the building itself. And then they actually let us kind of walk around in their attic, and they have all this old memorabilia, like marketing boards from the original C5 rollout and stuff like that. So a lot of history in the building, and then it's jam-packed with cool cars too. They had 3 C8s, 1 C7 that we also brought out for the photography. And I mean, just shooting indoors in like a warehouse setting like that, it lends itself to some very good pictures. So after that, we went out and just kind of drove around Fort Lupton, which if you've been to Fort Lupton, there's not a whole lot there. So Kevin and I showed up like an hour early with the intention of finding one corner to get the shot that's on the right side of the stage. We had to find at least one corner. So we drove around for a little bit, found a road, and we just kind of lapped that back and forth and got some rollers. And they let us open the cars up a little bit because that road was empty. There was nobody on it. So we got to kind of open them up. And I love the C8. I'm not afraid to admit that I am a Corvette guy.
They're fast.
I mean, the one corner I drove it around, it handles pretty well too.
Yeah.
But they're just fun. They're fun to look at. They're honestly surprisingly comfortable too. Like I fit perfectly in that car. But they sound great. They look good. And it was just we're so thankful for Yoder for allowing us to do this. I mean, it's pretty cool that a dealer was willing to work with us in the way of just, hey, let's get some of our inventory out there and get some photography. So super appreciative to everybody at Yoder for making that happen for us. That was a really good time. And another one of those photo shoots / story days that sticks in the back of my mind. It's like a day that I'll remember forever.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I don't know, Ryan. Maybe you should call them up and say, if you ever want to do some Heartbeat of America retro style photo shoots, I've got a fleet of Berettas I could fill your showroom with.
Yeah, we can make it happen. I'll call some friends too. We can end up with like 10 or more out front.
Maybe some of your Berettas were actually sold new at this dealership, Ryan.
You know, they very well could have been. A lot of them, I mean, almost all of them, I think, are Colorado cars. So who knows?
Ryan, let's talk about this because I like where this is going, and it could be an article.
Okay.
See, I have another idea. That was another idea.
Man, you're on fire.
This is where the inspiration
for real.
for
Like
I've
got enough cars in the backyard. I can pull like 8 VINs, and we could do some investigative work.
And you like you said, you could definitely call up some buddies and fill up this old showroom there, and maybe get some Dale Senior swag out and do the full early 90s.
All right.
So
that was another fun one. Here's just below that is another great article too, which I didn't have any part in the production of this one, but it's worth talking about because that beautiful Century belongs to our very own Marty Keir, who is also an editor here at Shift, Colorado. There he is. He bought this, I believe in Maryland. It was on the East Coast, I think Maryland. Sight unseen, flew out there, picked that car up, and drove it all the way back to Colorado.
Yeah, that is a bold move.
It's a bold move, but like a rite of passage for a car guy, right? Like you got to do it at least once.
Oh, for sure. So Toyota Century. So obviously a JDM market, obviously right-hand drive, obviously something pretty esoteric and oddball that you don't see every day.
It's so cool though, man. I'm sold on these now. Like I had never really interacted with one until Marty brought that home. But one, it's the most comfortable car I've ever sat in. It has a VHS player in it. It has retractable doily curtains.
Pass-through
The passenger
seats.
seat has a pass-through so that the rear seat passenger can put their legs through it. It's a marvel of a car. It is like a super luxury executive model. And something I wish was available in the U.S., but I guess it's kind of cooler that it wasn't because now when you see one, it's a little bit more special because somebody went through the effort to get it.
I've caught a couple of them at local shows, and I looked. His drive home was only about 20 or 30 longer than the one I just made to New York. So, and his car is far nicer than the one I took. So
probably has air conditioning.
Yeah, it probably has. I mean, and probably like wine glasses.
And it has a V12, so that
it
that's
does
good.
have a V12. So when
That's
Marty
good for highway cruising.
When Marty purchased the car, he made all of us guess what it was. So he would send us like little subtle hints in our internal chat, and it was V12 was one of them. So everyone starts guessing some sort of supercar, of course.
Sure.
And I think the other hint that he gave us was funky chicken, and nobody knew what that meant, and I didn't even know what it meant until he brought the car home. If you were able to zoom in on the front emblem and ornament, it's like a flaming bird.
Yeah.
But he said funky chicken, and I'm thinking that he found like a V12 swapped Firebird or something. Like I thought he bought something so ridiculous that it just nobody had it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be. It might get a little too. It's probably too pixelated, but yeah, it's like a gold. It's like a really classy version of the Trans Am Screaming Chicken hood decal. This is like, yeah, you are. I mean, this car back in the day in Japan, this was like you're either a Yakuza boss or you were like this, senior vice president of Sony or Fujifilm. It's like that's who would ride around.
A high-level executive car.
Yeah.
And it looks fantastic. It's long. It has fender mirrors. The colors.
Fender
really
mirrors.
Cool.
Fender mirrors are my jam. Anything with
I love fender mirrors. They serve no real purpose, but they look fantastic.
Very cool. Yeah, that is.
But it's a very cool car. I'm very stoked that Marty got his hands on it. I think he was actually wrenching on it today.
Nice.
But it's just such a cool car, and it's got a personality for sure.
because Marty he had a Audi R8 that he gave up for this, right?
Correct. He sold the R8 and moved into, he got 2 more cylinders.
That's an interesting shift going from no pun intended, interesting shift going from a Audi R8 V10 to a Toyota Century. Yes, you gain cylinders, you gain some seats. I bet you gain a bit more comfort and rarity and uniqueness as well, because this is certainly in the US, these are mighty rare. You just don't see them.
It's definitely a unique car. I'm stoked for Marty on this one and excited to see it around more.
Yeah, for sure. Once he gets it all, dialed in right, I'm sure we'll see it out and about, maybe at Lafayette or some of the other great cars and coffee events or car shows that we have.
Absolutely. And you can also check out some videos about that car on his YouTube channel, Mr. Curiosity. It's linked there in the magazine.
Right.
He's got some content with it, as well as his Miata that we were working on earlier this year, and all other Marty's other cool escapades. So go follow him on YouTube if you get a minute.
That's it. Mr. Curiosity. All right. Yeah. So we probably have a few more minutes left. So do you want to pick one more?
Do a quick scroll through and I'll pick a short one.
Yeah.
It's been a while and we've been so focused on 13. I've actually forgotten what's going on in here.
We've got Brendan.
I'll leave that for Brendan to discuss one day, because that's his heart and soul in that one.
Yeah. Years of rebuilding and restoring his Quattro. You've got this Tri-State Auto exhibition.
I'll tell you what, go to check out the Denver Auto Show, because that's always worth talking about too. I know it's not quite what it used to be, but it's still, I had a really good time. It fell on my birthday this year, so what better way to spend your birthday than walking around the Denver Auto Show?
There we go.
So this is a riff that we've been doing on all manufacturer events. We call it Fun, Functional, and Fancy. And the goal is for everybody who attends it to have a pick for each one of those cars. So you get to walk the whole show, and then you got to talk about what your fun, what your functional, and what your fancy is. Mm-hmm. And I always try to take the weird approach, and I'll pick 3 weird cars for those categories, because I like weird cars.
Yeah. All right. So so you did actually drive the that electric was it the Daytona Charger electric?
Did not drive it. So the Denver Auto Show was just strictly exhibit. We didn't get to drive anything, but we did get to play around with them and sit in them. I don't want to talk about the Daytona though. I don't like it.
I actually saw one on the road today.
Did you really? Honestly, it's probably rarer than Marty's Century at this point.
No kidding.
All right, those Grenadiers. So I did pick the Grenadier for my functional car. Those things are super cool.
Yeah.
And they
see a lot of them around. Like
they're more popular than I ever thought they would be.
Yeah.
I mean, they come. I think it's like a $90,000 base price, and people still want to get their hands on them, which is cool, right? Because you get the Land Rover styling without the Land Rover reliability. Comes with a BMW straight 6. I mean, what's better than that?
Yeah, and it's the B58 as well, which is honestly probably one of the better BMW engines, because BMW engines have their own quirks. Definitely in a more reliable category.
I trust a BMW on a long trip versus a Land Rover.
Yeah, for sure. And they're certainly getting a B58 serviced. That's going to be a lot more people are going to be able to service one of those engines than an old Defender. So yeah. But
these Grenadiers, there's so many little quirks. Like, I don't want to say quirks and features. I don't want to rip Doug off here. But there's a ton of weird features, little features on these that are incredibly useful. Like, the entire side of them is lined with like an E-Track type accessory rail that you can put you can put fuel cans on there, you can put ladders on there, you can attach tables to it, and all kinds of stuff. And then the interior, there's fold out utility tables everywhere, the way the seats fold up. one of the most functional cars I've ever gotten in, as far as like configuration and everything, which is kind of cool. So that was worth talking about. That was my favorite car at the auto show. Personally, I got to experience one up close and personal for the first time after being quite curious about them.
Would you, when these get, which I'm assuming they will, in about 5 years, they will get they will be heavily depreciated.
I'm looking forward to
that. Would you consider this as a contender head against the Lobo, the Maverick Lobo?
For different reasons, right? Like I currently have 2 vehicles, and one of them is an off-road vehicle that strictly gets used for camping and trail use, and this would be a replacement for that, 100%. The Lobo would be more in a daily driver aspect, like something that I can live with every single day.
Sure.
But I also haven't driven this yet, so it might not live up to the expectation behind the wheel. However, I highly doubt that based on how many I see out there.
Yeah, well, there's that dealer down in Colorado Springs. They're like the Ineos dealer for multiple states around, because there aren't that many dealers. But maybe, I don't know, if anyone from Red Noland Ineos is listening in Colorado Springs, maybe give us a shout. Give Jake and Brendan and the guys a little press car for the day.
Absolutely, we would love it. We would like to get that thing out there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously whoever the product planners were did a fantastic job of putting a dealership in Colorado, because it's like, you know, what is a better Colorado car than a, you know, luxury semi-high-end off-roady style SUV?
Yeah,
right?
They definitely hit their target demographic by putting it in Colorado.
For sure.
I see a lot of them rolling around Cherry Hills, if that says anything.
Oh yeah, no, I see them everywhere. They're all over the place.
But I still get excited every time I see one too. Like, you know what? I think what it is the person that bought that, they could have easily went and bought a Lexus GX or something that's tried and true.
Oh,
but
sure.
They were
Land
different,
Rover.
and they wanted to be different. They got this instead. It's a new manufacturer using parts from other manufacturers. It's a little risky, but it speaks to their personality when I see one on the road, personally.
Yeah. It's like, you could have just gotten the new Defender, but you didn't.
Yeah, you wanted to do something different. You took a little bit of a risk, and that tells me that even if you're not a car guy, you're a unique person.
For sure. Yeah, that's it's like Defender, new Defender, Lexus GX, even a fully loaded new Land Cruiser. That's all hitting the same demographic, because you have people that want that look, the rugged, even if you're never going to go off road and you just drive, up to Aspen and back.
Do some mall crawling.
Yeah.
Well, no, so this one is like, this is the unique choice, and I think that's cool. So when I see one on the road, I get excited, because I know that there's people out there that are like me that will buy something that's different strictly because it's different.
Speaking of things we don't see on the road very often, the new Nissan Z.
Yeah. I'm surprised you don't see that on the road too often, honestly. Like, the price isn't bad. It's a good car. It looks good. I like that it has all of the throwback features on it. Like, I think they managed to get every generation of Z car some sort of throwback feature in there, which I think that's cool.
I will agree. It looks good. It's got a good V6 in it. You can get it with a stick, actually.
Yeah, it's one of the few cars you can still buy in a manual.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that you don't see them out there.
And I would hazard a guess that if you walk into a Nissan dealer, they will give you a lot of money off on one of these. I would guess there are deals to be had.
Absolutely. I mean, just because anybody that has one in a dealer has been trying to sell it since the launch. So, well, that's a little buyer's tip, right? Like, if you're looking for a fun, brand new sports car, go see what Nissan will give you for one of these.
Yeah, I mean, rear wheel drive, manual, V6. I don't know if it has an LSD or whatnot, but I would imagine it. Yeah, I would imagine it can't drive that poorly. Like, buyer's guide, market report tip. Check out Nissan Z's for good deals
Is it slept on? Tell us. Let's find out.
That could be another. That could be a shift article as well. Is the Z? Is it slept on, or is it rightfully not? Is it not appreciated because it's not that good, or is it truly underappreciated?
But here's the thing to think about too: is what does it compete with? Like, there's nothing else in its segment right now, right? Like, you've got the new Miata, which is smaller, lighter, and less powerful. So I'd put that in a different category personally.
Yeah, it would probably be like the V6 Mustangs and Camaros almost.
To an extent, yeah. You're right. There's not much you can really compare this vehicle to.
Yeah.
No.
Especially if it's available with a manual and rear-wheel drive. Like, it's in a category all its own, which is funny because this used to be a crowded category. So you would just think that it would be doing better as the sole contender in the I don't even know what you would call it, like the mid-size sport car, mid-size sport coupe.
Could be Supra. I mean, the new Supra is similar. Yeah, I would say new Supra is similar price point. Also has a 6-cylinder engine available. Also has manual available. Yeah, it's kind of like this, the Supra, and maybe a base Camaro or Mustang.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. Yeah.
No one's going to make BMW jokes about this car, though.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But they will make Nissan jokes.
Yeah, of course
it
they
will
will.
come with its own set of manufacturer jokes.
And by the time people watch this, Nissan may or may not still be a car company. It's always in any given
that
day.
might be another reason to buy one, though. I bet they'll go up in value once Nissan kicks the bucket.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was great. I think we started a few minutes late. Hey, there's a picture of Jake.
Yeah.
Coming out of a Hyundai. But yeah, I think we're pretty much at time with our slightly tardy start. So I think, what am I doing? I think I can remove that and stop that, and we're just three of us. Well, this was great. Thank you, Jake. It's always, it's always good. Like you said, you get so caught up in like, what's the next thing that we're doing? Just keep rolling from one shoot to a story to a, event. And sometimes it's good to take a little retrospective and look back at some of the cool stuff that you did real quick. No big spoilers, but just give us a taste. Give us the slightest inkling of some tantalizing tidbits. There we go.
All right. So we'll start off with the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb because we're still all just getting down on the tail end of the high of that. That's every year we feature that. And this year I actually spent the night up on the hill, which is a really good time. There's going to be some fun content that we did before the hill climb down in Colorado Springs the day before with a manufacturer, but I want that one to be a surprise. So if you want to find out what we did with a manufacturer in Colorado Springs, stay tuned for issue 13. We've got some press cars, as we typically do. 2 Japanese luxury manufacturers are going to be making a feature in the next issue. And then we've got some... What else we got? It's a little early. And I don't want to spoil too much, so.
All right. So we have some more things to look forward to. More things.
We have a release date, release window. We can
early September. It'll be the first week of September.
There you go. Hey, that's my birthday.
Yeah, right on.
So thanks.
We're doing this for your birthday, Ryan.
I know. Yeah, it's great. Thanks.
Ryan's birthday issue.
It'll be all Beretta. Oh my God, the all Beretta issue.
Yeah, it's only Berettas. We're not
70
doing
pages.
All it is like a double-sided piece of paper that's got like one photo on one side and like some silly text on the other.
It's the dealer brochure from the original.
That would be a great, if we all had so much more time, it would be a great gag thing. It would be to release just a 70-page issue shift that was all Beretta content.
I'm not even sure I could even come up with 70 pages worth of Beretta content.
Well, put it to the BerettaFest friends. I'm sure they could come up with something.
One other sneak preview into 13.2 is we do have an all-film article coming up. So we took a step back and shot only film cameras a few weeks ago with our friends at Not Another Film Lab here in Denver. That's what I'm super excited about, too. I haven't gotten to any of that film process yet, so I need to get that done.
That is a real art, right? Real photography.
I've been leaving this on my desk so that I don't forget to drop it off. But yeah, so that's another thing that we have coming up. That's a little experiment. I wanted to do something with some film. And then we'll have our featured photographer as well. That will be released later on. We don't want to give that away quite yet. And yeah, some of the standard shift antics. There's also going to be a little bit of a used car dealer type article in there. You think your classic used car dealer, like pinky rings, cheesy suits,
comb overs,
terrible cars, comb overs, you name it. Like we did it all.
You're gonna want to read that
sale too.
Steve.
I made some money. I made some money off of a shift article for once, which was pretty rad.
Nice. Did Steve let you keep it, or did he snatch it out of your?
It's a long story, but I gave the money to the friend of mine that brought the vehicle that I sold to where I sold it at.
Okay.
Without giving too much away, that was the story there.
Right. Yeah. There are going to be some very good pictures of you, Steve, Brendan, and who's the other guy? Who else was down there?
Friend of ours, Sean,
right? Yeah. There's some pretty great pictures that are gonna come out of that, and surely some good stories of cheesy, sleazy car salesmen.
It was a good time. We gave away a ton of Hot Wheels too, that's always fun. The kids love getting free Hot Wheels. I thought it was funny too. We won't talk about this. This is magazine content only. I don't want to show my hand
Keep
too
dropping
much.
cliffhangers.
All right. Well, no spoilers. As we don't want to give too much away. But yeah, this was great to just get a little hint, little taste for the folks out there. And this is it. I think we're good. We should probably call it because we are at a good time. So let's say till next time. We need a catchphrase. We need a catchphrase, Ryan. We need a sign off.
We'll figure it out.
Well, till next time, we're just a couple car guys in Colorado. So we'll catch you on the flip side, amigos.
Thanks for joining us, Jake.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. We'll see you soon.
See you around.
Done.
All right.